We usually read the healing at Bethesda as a straightforward miracle, but the details paint a darker picture. The pool functioned as a place of spiritual blindness, a landscape that operated as a reversal of Eden. The geography reveals the problem. The Pool of Bethesda sat in Jerusalem, immediately adjacent to the Temple Mount, the site designated as the dwelling place of God. Bethesda translates to house of mercy, yet the pool operated on a system of scarcity. The crowd believed that whoever entered the water first when it stirred would be healed, meaning the fastest and strongest won, while the most disabled were left behind. Hundreds of people lay suffering within sight of the temple. They were surrounded by sacred architecture, yet remained cut off from the actual presence of God. Among this crowd lay one man who had been disabled for nearly 4 decades. He lived at the bottom of this stone structure, trapped by a physical threshold he didn't have the strength to cross. He tells Jesus he is completely isolated. When the water moves, he has no one to help him. Every time he tries to reach the pool, someone more capable beats him to it. Jesus passed by the temple courts to enter this failed environment, seeking out a man who had long ago given up on the religious system surrounding him. The man's physical inability mirrored his spiritual state. He was a microcosm of humanity, stuck on the edge of life, waiting on a human mechanism that lacked the power to save him. Jesus' arrival at the pool was a deliberate act of symbolic geography. He entered the city through a specific entrance, the Sheep Gate. This map shows ancient Jerusalem. The Sheep Gate was used exclusively for leading sacrificial animals into the city to the temple. John's Gospel calls Jesus the Lamb of God. By using this gate, Jesus intentionally entered through the door reserved for sacrifices. When Jesus finds the man, the text notes a precise number. He had been disabled for exactly 38 years. In the texts of the Torah, 38 years is the exact duration Israel wandered in the wilderness due to their unbelief. This makes the man a stand-in for the nation. Like the wilderness generation, he had languished for 38 years, unable to reach the promise by his own efforts. The architecture of the pool reinforced this connection. It was a double-basin structure surrounded by 5 porticos, or covered walkways. This 5-fold design references the 5 scrolls of the Torah, the Law of Moses. The porticos offered shelter but couldn't heal him. Similarly, the law could identify his paralysis but lacked the power to remove it. Even when the creator of the universe stood before him, the man could only think in terms of pool mechanics and timing. He complained about his lack of a helper, missing that the helper had already arrived. Jesus bypassed the water, ignored the fierce competition, and the rules entirely. He issued a command of new creation. Stand up, pick up your mat, and walk. By ignoring the pool, Jesus demonstrated that the divine word had replaced the religious mechanisms that were failing the people. John notes that this healing took place on a Sabbath, which immediately triggered a legal conflict. The religious leaders saw a man carrying a mat, a violation of a localized rule. Jesus, however, saw the Sabbath as the proper time for the restoration of his creation. By commanding the man to work on the Sabbath, Jesus claimed the Father's own prerogative, the right to do the continuous, life-giving work of the Creator. The miracle at Bethesda was a calculated act to establish Christ's authority over Israel's most sacred institution. Later, the setting moves away from the pool. Jesus seeks the man out again, this time inside the temple courts. There, Jesus warned the man to stop sinning or something worse would happen. This shifted the focus from physical health to a strict covenant requirement. In the temple, Jesus assumed the role of the final judge, establishing a standard of allegiance that far exceeded physical healing. We often wait by the pools of our own effort, hoping religious systems will save us. This story reveals that our restoration depends entirely on recognizing the voice of the Son of God.